Dear students, we will study a poetry by Pablo Neruda, a Chilean poet. The title of the poetry is Keeping Quiet. About this poet, he was a poet, a politician, and a diplomat. And in the year 1971, he won the Nobel Prize for Literature. Now we'll try to understand this poetry, Keeping Quiet. At first, when we look at this poetry, it seems a little complicated, but I will try to explain it as simple as possible. First of all, Pablo Neruda talks about the importance of unity, peace, and introspection. These are the main theme or the main subject that is dealt in this poetry. So we'll try to understand stanza by stanza. So please look into your textbook and we'll try to understand the poetry. We will see the first stanza. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. Now we'll try to understand the meaning of the first stanza. The poet is asking us to count up to 12. So this is a trick for making ourselves calm down. You know, when you close your eyes and start counting 1 to 12, you'll be busy only in counting 1 to 12. All other activities, all other thoughts will be disappeared from your mind. So it will make you calm down. So the poet is asking you to make yourself calm down and let's not do any activity for some time. So it is a time, let's try to have an introspection, look into ourselves, and let's not talk any language. That is what he tells there. So that means language always create barriers, means different people talk different language, and that is a kind of difference. So for some time let's not talk any difference, let's not talk any language, let's be just humans and have a calm thinking, or just have an introspection into ourselves, and let's not move our arms. That means let's stop all our activities. Arms has got two meaning. One, arms means our hand. Let's not move our hands. That means let's stop all our activities. And also another meaning for arms is arms and ammunition, the weapon that we use. That means all the war and all the problems between countries and all that, for some time let's forget about it. Let's have an introspection into ourselves. That is what the poet is telling in the first stanza. Hope you understood. Now look at the second stanza. It would be an exotic moment, without a rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Now we will try to understand the meaning of second stanza. So in the second stanza, the poet is giving little more explanation about that situation. When everything is in a standstill situation, what all things will be taking place, little more in an elaborate way the poet is telling. First of all, it will be an exotic moment. Exotic moment means it will be a rare situation. It will not be a used situation for man. So it will be a rare situation, and there will not be any rush. Rush means that always man is busy with many things, but that situation will be stopped. That rush will not be there. And without engine means no machineries will be working for some time when we stop our all activities. And that means there are different activities man does, and that is also a difference. That creates a kind of difference between man. But when all the activities are stopped, then all are equal. So we would all be together in a sudden strangeness, and in that situation we all will be together, means the same in that strange situation. That means all the activities will be stopped and all people will be equal. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales. This is a single example that the poet is indicating that man, when he is in standstill situation, then he will not be harming other creatures for livelihood or for food. That is explained by one example telling that no fisherman will be killing the whales in the sea. The man gathering salt would look at his hurt hand, and some activities, by doing that activity we harm ourselves. So man is so busy in collecting money or thinking about money, and even he forget about his health. Sometimes he harm himself by doing some dangerous activities or dangerous work. And also one example is given here by the poet, that is it will be a chance for the what is called the salt collectors to look into their hands, the hurt hand. That means when they collect the salt and all, they get some injuries. And also this is one example only. So man will understand when all things are stopped, when all activities are stopped, it will be a chance for man to look into himself and understand what all harm he is doing for himself, to the nature, and also that together feeling, that oneness feeling also he will understand. That is what he is telling in the second stanza. Hope you understood. Now look at the third stanza. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victory with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade doing nothing. What I want should not be confused with the total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want no truck with death. Now in the third stanza, the poet is talking about different types of wars. First one is green war. Green war means a man is busy in destroying the nature, means deforestation. And there are different wars with gas, so that it indicates the mining and other things, the destruction of natural resources, and also the real war between different countries. So the poet is requesting them all to stop those activities. So stop the war so that there will exist life. Otherwise there will be victory, but there won't be any life on earth. That is what he is telling. There will be victory with no survivors. That is what he is indicating. So, and also he is telling about wear a new cloth. So put on a clean cloth. That means it is not changing dress. What he meant is having a new approach to life, having a new attitude, or change our attitude and becoming new people. That means when we introspect, we will understand the mistakes or the wrongdoing that we are doing it, and we should change. That is what he is telling through putting on a new cloth. And walk about with their brothers. That means walk together, consider the enemy as brother, and that brotherhood should be there. That means all the enmity should be forgotten, and all people should live in unity and peace. Also the poet tells that don't be confused. When I say stop doing all the activities, don't remain inactive. That I did not mean. That is what the poet is telling. That he tells that I said for some time you stop all your activities and have an introspection into your life. So look into your life, analyze and bring a change in your attitude and in your thinking, because he don't like to see trucks with bodies. That means after war and all, people will be killed, and in the news and all sometime you must have seen that people's bodies are taken in trucks. So that situation should not be there. So what poet wants is that there should not be killing of humans. There should not be destruction of human beings or the nature or other creatures. That should not be there. So all this happens just because of the activities of human beings. That is why he is asking them to stop for a moment and analyze and change your attitude, so that the life will continue on earth. Hope you understood that stanza. Look at the next stanza. If we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving, and for once could perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. In this stanza, the poet is telling that man is always single-minded. That means each one has got their own target in life, and they are never seen happy about their life, because they know that there is death. So all are busy in achieving something in their life, and they keep some target in front of them and go on achieving that. After achieving one target, they will keep another and they will be busy in achieving that, and they never enjoy their life. They are always sad about their life, and they know that one day they will die. So the poet is telling that this huge silence will help them to understand themselves, and also it will give them a chance to change their life. Hope you understood this stanza. Look at the last stanza. Perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I will count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. So in the last stanza, the poet is telling that even we can learn lesson from the nature. So there is a season in which the nature will be in standstill situation, like winter season. So in winter season there won't be much activities and the life will be in a standstill situation. So that is not the end. After some time the season changes and again there will be active life you will see in the nature. So the poet is telling we can learn a lesson from the nature. So and we can have a short break from our busy life and have an introspection, and we can restart our life. And after telling that, the poet is telling that now I will count up to 12 and you can have an introspection. That means I have given you an idea to have an introspection, and it is now up to you, and I am going, and telling that he goes from there. So now it's a time for us to think about our life and have an introspection and make necessary change and have a new beginning in our life. So hope you understood the poetry, keeping quiet, and now you write down the summary and you will have a better understanding. And we will meet in the next video with a new chapter, and until then, bye.